According to a study from the University of Scranton, 50% of Americans make New Year's resolutions. However, only 8% of them actually achieve their goals. Why is it that people are so excited about the new year, but then, after a couple of weeks, they go back to their old habits as if nothing has changed? People set huge goals at the end of each year. And don't get me wrong, I'm all about being ambitious and working hard towards big objectives. But what people lack is an actual strategy. You see, they don't actually set goals. They simply have desires of things they want, but no actual strategy or plan of achievement, which isn't enough. And that doesn't happen in your personal life only. It also happens in business in general. People have a very superficial approach when it comes to goals. They just say what they want, without actually backing everything up with a strategy, facts, numbers, deadlines, and tactics. In today's video, I'm going to explain to you how you can set goals for 2021 without being unrealistic or wishful. Also, you'll learn why people stop their journey very soon and how you can actually achieve your goals in the new year. Ready to get into it? Good. But before we get started, please take a couple of seconds to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Here on Practical Wisdom, we're all about giving you free value on self-improvement, business, entrepreneurship, and finance. Done? Good. Now let's move on. The difference between a desire and a goal. Let's take a look at the definition of desire. A strong feeling of wanting to have something or wishing for something to happen. See how they use the word wishing? So let's see what wish is defined as. Feel or express a strong desire or hope for something that cannot or probably will not happen. So, a desire is strongly connected to wishful thinking. You hope that something will happen, but you don't actually take any significant action in order to make that happen. In this case, you are the passive subject in your life instead of being active. You are reactive, which means you react to what happens, instead of being proactive, which means you make stuff happen. Now, let's take a look at the definition of goal, the object of a person's ambition or effort. See how they use the word effort? This simply proves that behind a goal, there is actual work, even hard work. Another definition of a goal is the destination of a journey. If you want to get something, you need to move. You can't stay in place and hope that your goal will come to you. It won't happen. You will be waiting for the rest of your days if you don't decide to start moving. It's the same in life. If you don't commit to actually working and getting stuff done, there's no way in this world that the goal will come to you. Maybe you want to become a millionaire, to build a strong physique, to find new friends, or buy that new car. Well, guess what? You're not going to become wealthy if you don't put in the hours. The difference between goals and desires is simple. Goals are backed up by strategy, work, deadlines, and numbers. They are realistic, and most importantly, they require action. Desires, on the other hand, are things you want to happen, but that probably won't. How to organize your life in 2021. It doesn't matter if you're watching this video in January, February, or even March. You're still in time to do something about it. We have prepared a 9-step guide that you can act on. It's very simple. Anyone can follow this. Maybe you've been confused, and you didn't start because you didn't know what the first step was. Or maybe you have started writing down your goals, but you had no clue how to actually strategize them and turn them into a reality. I'm about to give you the script and footprint of exactly what needs to be done. After this, you'll have no excuses. Let's start with step number 1. Step number 1. What you want. Grab a pen and paper and start writing what you want. I know you heard this many times, but hear me out. If you don't know what you want, how are you supposed to ever feel fulfilled? You see, the feeling of fulfillment comes from the achievement of your true purpose. This sounds too spiritual, but put simply, you feel fulfilled when you make progress towards whatever you believe is important. But the thing is, if you don't have goals, you don't really have a system to measure your success and progress. The first step is deciding what you want to achieve in 2021. You can go crazy here, but still stay realistic. Be ambitious and don't hold back too much. This shouldn't take long. Focus on writing a very simple list of what you would like to achieve in the following areas of your life: business, career, financial, personal development, health, fitness, spiritual, family, friends, and love. Maybe you aren't a spiritual person, and if that's the case, you can skip that area. You can also skip a career if you already have a business, as it really wouldn't make sense. Again, don't hold back too much. Be ambitious, but still realistic. Step number 2. Describe what you want in great detail. This is important for a couple of reasons. 1. The more details you have about what you want to find, the more likely you are to find it. 2. It helps you visualize success, which motivates you. When it comes to visualizing your success, this means having something to look forward to. Deciding the details of what you want to achieve will also help you practice success when you need some serious drive and motivation. How do you practice success? It's fairly simple, but you won't be able to do it unless you do provide details about your goals. Here's an example. Let's pretend that one of your 2021 goals is to get a new car. Instead of setting the goal as, get a new car, you could be hyper-specific. For example, get a Phantom Black Nissan GTR. If you want to add any additional specs, you may also specify those. Now, in order to practice success, you should find a dealer and check out the car in person. You might also want to test drive it. You're going to get the feeling that it's becoming real, that you are in reality very close to actually achieving that goal. This quote-unquote practicing success thing is actually very common among successful people. Some of them call it act as if, and others call it dress for success. But the concept is the same. Start experiencing success in your life, which will give you the addictive feeling of achievement. Step number 3. Define what's required to get what you want. Now that you know what you're after, it's time to get really realistic. You've been very ambitious up until now, but now, reality is about to kick you in the face. Let's pretend that your financial goal for 2021 is to make $85,000 after tax. That sounds great, but here's reality. $85,000 divided by 12 months in 1 year is $7,083.33. In order to achieve your goal, your income would have to be $7,083 every month after tax. That's a big number. How are you supposed to get there in 1 year? Maybe you would need to start a business on the side to make that money, or develop some passive income. Or maybe you should quit your job and look for another higher paying one. In this step, all you need to do is decide what choices you have in order to achieve that goal. Then you have to choose one option, the one that gives you more chances of success. Don't get distracted by how big the numbers become. Just be objective and define all requirements. Step number 4. Set deadlines. A goal is not a goal unless it has deadlines. Apart from being one of the best motivators for you to get out there and start working, deadlines help you measure your success. Back to the goal of making $85,000 in 2021. If 1 month you've made only $5,000 instead of $7,083, you know you're off track. If you did not have the monthly deadline, you wouldn't be able to measure your success and recalibrate your strategy. Deadlines also prepare you for the next step, which is critical. Step number 5. Decide if you're willing to do it. Now, I know you hear about all those gurus and online entrepreneurs that have made millions, and they always tell you you have to be willing to do anything in order to succeed. But in the real world, people have non-negotiables. You may have a family, you may have a husband or wife. Are you willing to sacrifice your family for the sake of your success? Maybe you are, or maybe you're not. The point is, you just have to look at the numbers and decide whether you're willing to do that specific amount of work, or if it's too much for you. You don't have to feel guilty if you realize that the goal is too big. Just go to the next step. Step number 6. Redefine your goals or confirm them. This is fairly simple. If you've decided that you're totally willing to do what's required to achieve your goals, then you can proceed to the next step. On the other hand, if you realize that you're very unlikely to succeed, you must go back to step number 1 or 2. You have to redefine your goals to make them more achievable. Now, I'm not saying that you should eliminate or give up on the goal. You should never do that. You should just relax the numbers. Back to the $85,000 a year goal. If you realize that you won't be able to do it, just reduce the number, maybe to $70,000 instead of $85,000. However, don't stop being ambitious. At the end of the day, if you're willing to put in the effort, you're very unlikely to fail completely. Step number 7. Set targets. Here's the difference between goals and targets. Goals are big, sometimes scary, and they're something you move towards every day. Targets are smaller objectives that are basically steps that take you closer to your goal on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. Step number 8. Write affirmations. Affirmations aren't that conventional, but most successful people agree that they're a great way to get you motivated fast. Now that you know what your goals are, it's time to write some phrases that you will read out loud every time you feel discouraged. Some hyper-successful people, like Dan Pena, say that you should do it twice a day at least, when you wake up and when you go to bed. It's up to you. Here's a good example of an affirmation related to the $85,000 2021 goal. I am happily and easily generating $7,083.33 every single month after tax, and I can feel the joy and fulfillment of reaching this goal with no hiccups. The requirements for a good affirmation are, they have to be in the present tense, as if you have already achieved that goal. They must include senses and/or feelings, smells, emotions, sights. They must contain numbers and be super specific. Step number 9. Create a summary and look at it every day. Now you need to watch this. If you know how to use Facebook, you could make bank doing this: social media marketing. Are you a good entrepreneur? Watch this interactive video on decision making. Well, that's all we have for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it and that you'll use the tips to make this year your best one yet. As always, if you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new to the channel. With that said, have a great day, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.